brain chemistry and the brain wiring that promotes social behavior looks most alike in humans and in dogs. They are most like us in the brain systems of friendship.
What I want you to do right now is come back into the present moment. Zane makes you happy, right?
I love this dog.
Okay.
I love her.
Thank you for bringing me back.
That right there was a clip from the documentary By My Side, which features the stories of 3 veteran families that share their struggle with PTSD and how service dogs have reconnected these individuals with their families. Here to tell us more is the film director and producer, Vicki Topaz, along with cast member and veteran, Emilio Gallegos. Vicki, Emilio, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we opened up on that clip right there that everybody got to see, and it's just a short part of your documentary film, By My Side. Almost brought tears to my eyes. You can already feel the impact that it's going to have on so many people. So for our viewers who maybe have never heard of the documentary, tell us first, Vicki, what it's all about.
Yes, well, 10 to 15 years ago, I was photographing and interviewing veterans with post-traumatic stress who were partnering with service animals. And I began to meet their families, and I realized that the stories of the children and the spouses weren't being told. We were hearing more about the veterans. And that's also when I made the decision to move from photography to film. And so that's how it came about. It's been 5 years in the making. And it's been a great experience for me personally, and I think for the cast members as well. My father was a veteran in World War II. And I never could understand when I was growing up. I could not understand kind of how he acted, you know, alcoholism and anger. And what this film brought to me was that missing puzzle, because as I listened to the children talking, I realized they were telling my story.
Wow.
So it's really personal for me, both because I'm very close with the cast members and with the families, and I have this piece of understanding of my own childhood. So yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that as well. I know that's deeply personal to you as well. So we're looking forward to really unraveling exactly what is in By My Side. And for you, Emilio, you know, when you were asked to be part of this special project and film, what did this mean to you to be able to tell your story and your family's story?
At first, I realized the power we can have in it, but I didn't realize the depth of which it was going to bring a value of healing and become very cathartic for my family.
Wow.
You know, so to hear them and to speak their truths, and you know, the first time that my daughter did an interview for the first time when she was talking with Vicki and the cast, the first time I heard her say these words on camera in the film, and she said, "I was really scared of my father. You know, as a single father, when I come back from Iraq, the kids would come with me for the weekend, and there's nowhere to go but with Dad. But if Dad isn't having a great day or a great week, you know, you find out years down the road, like they would talk to each other kind of subliminally, like, how's Dad? Like, how's Dad today, you know?
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize really the depth of what Vicki just touched on, how it would really give them a voice and a place to put those feelings, you know, to validate them in a sense where, like, I lived this experience, but also give us a place to propel forward and not just live in it, but we're all continuously growing and being empowered by this and giving us another chance at life again, in a sense.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. And again, thank you for sharing such a deeply personal story. I know it's not only going to help our viewers, but many people who can relate to this, right? So what is the main message behind your documentary, Vicki?
Well, there are a couple of messages. One is to help educate not only veterans living with trauma, but also others living with trauma about the power that a service animal can offer. Basically, the service animal is offering a lifeline to folks. And a lot of people do not know about service dogs or what they're capable of. And we believe that the film shows this to audience. And the other thing is just to get a better understanding of what veterans coming home or who have been in the military go through when they do come home, and some of the challenges that they face, and how a service dog has been able to really help them, along with maybe some other therapeutic option that they're using.
Yeah.
So we really want to educate, and we want to reach as many veterans as we can. And we've started a campaign now working with a couple of foundations that will help us get the film seen across the country and not only just in the Bay Area or California.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'd love to learn a little bit more about that organization in just a minute. But Emilio, I'd like to switch gears to you to be able to tell your story. And Samson, by the way, everybody, we have Samson here. I'm not sure if you can see him. He is Emilio's service dog, and he's just being so good. For you, what has a service dog meant to you as a veteran coming home?
It's become very rewarding in a sense where I can't explain it, but something I never really thought would be where he would take me. He has become the conduit and the conversation entry point for a lot of things in my life. Like, I might have became a better person coming from drinking so much or working out a lot or having failure in a lot of different therapies. But I might have been a good person or the best person I could be, but he's allowed me to become the best person I can be because he's coming in these places where he's the conduit to conversation at the gym, at the store, at the mall. If not, I'm just a guy that's bald and full of tattoos that no one really wants to talk to, probably, right?
Wow.
And no one knows that, like, I have an MFA in writing and I live in poetry and words daily, right? And I just want to try to be a proponent for continuing to create these spaces where we can continue to push these conversations, these very, very necessary conversations forward. Conversations about healing and reintegration and family to the point where I can come where now my days, I'm living them, I'm not just existing in them. And for my children to see that, my family to see that, there's hope. And you can fail and fail and fail, but it doesn't mean you're never going to continue to succeed again. And that's the kind of the conversation we want to keep pushing forward and create a space for us to have these really, really valuable conversations in life.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, the two of you, for the work that you are doing. One more question for you, Vicki, before I let the two of you go. How can people get involved, and how can people, learn more about the film?
Well, the film has been shown in several film festivals, which is one way that we're getting the message out there. We also have a program now that we're promoting called Host a Screening, and people can find out about it on our website. So if there is a group of even 10 people, 10 veterans perhaps, who want to see the film, but they have no way to see it because we've not released it publicly yet, they contact us and we make the film available to them.
Oh, beautiful.
And then as we get going with a couple of foundations who we're starting to work with, and if we are able to be more widespread with the film through those organizations in various locations, I think that we're really going to be able to get this film shown and understood and seen. So
I absolutely agree with that. Well, thank you both so much, Vicki, Emilio, and
Thank
Samson.
you. Thank you
Can
so
you say
much.
hi to the camera? Thank you so much.